Hey guys, back here again with another Commodore 64 game. This one by fan request. Somebody suggested that there was a content gap and that there wasn't much coverage of the Commodore 64 game Quasimodo. Seems like there's a bit more coverage of the Atari 8-bit version of it. I might circle back and visit that sometime. It's interesting. It's what this game was based off of. So John Attic made the Atari version, and then a year later, 1984, Mark Bigelow converted it to the Commodore 64, and there's a couple changes that came along with it. So let's go ahead and get started. Don't have a ton of time this morning, so I'm just going to try to make it through one gameplay loop and call it a day. All right, F7. So we start off with Quasimodo on a wall, throwing rocks down at people. It's not terribly hard because even if they make it to the top, you can throw your rocks sideways, horizontally. But the hitboxes aren't very generous, so you do have to be careful in that regard. And then the main objective is to grab these gems and return them to their resting places. The first one being here. This is a rare Commodore 64 game where the button actually makes you jump. A lot of Commodore 64 games actually mapped jump to the up on the joystick. These bats will knock you down and kill you. They don't seem to do that while I'm just hanging on the rope so much. And I don't know why that is. But if you try to jump through a bat, it will definitely knock you off the wall and kill you. And then you do need to build up some momentum before you jump. And then I also like to make a kind of like press up as I'm jumping across. So I'll kind of push up and jump at the same time. I don't know. Okay, so I got that crystal or gem or whatever. And now it allows me to go over here. Quasi has this weird thing where if he walks off an edge, he'll do a Wile E. Coyote thing and kind of like hover in midair for a little while. By the way, there's nothing wrong with my emulation or capture software. The sound in this game is just that bad. I don't know what they were thinking, especially knowing that the SID chip was capable of some pretty fantastic sounds for that time period. I actually don't know what there's kind of like a deep, like bass, like boom, 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 boom the whole time. I think the wings flapping would bother me less. Yeah, so other than the hitboxes not being so great, this section really isn't that hard. You can even bounce rocks off the walls. Alright, like that. Oh, I got that guy. I thought he might... Oop. Unfortunately, the enemy arrows also bounce off the walls, so that's why I died there. Oh, missed that guy. I'll let these guys up. You'll see, even when they get to the top, they just do this slow lock towards you, so you can just hit them horizontally. Alright, then you go down here, put a gem up there, and then there's one more gem we have to retrieve before the next gameplay loop starts. It's kind of weird, it doesn't really explain things well, so I can't go back to the left here. So I have to repeat sections I've already done, which is a little annoying. Alright, that bat finally actually killed me. So apparently if they hit my head, I die? Okay. So don't let your head get hit by the bats, apparently. They seem a little bit more aggressive right now for some reason. Oh, jeez, that was a bad move. I'm on my last life. And I don't think I can do this third stage with only one life. I think where this game gets you is when you get impatient. I am fascinated by the timing of this. So 1984. I know I mess up my dates a lot, but I believe it's the same time period that Montezuma's Revenge is coming out. Okay, I was wondering about that. So you apparently can shoot. I think it's kind of funny because these guys look like they have guns. In the Atari version, it's much more clear that they have crossbows. And these guys only shoot horizontally. In the Atari version, they can shoot down. I'm also experiencing like a ton of slowdown, which to me is very unusual for a Commodore 64 game. So, makes me think this wasn't programmed very optimally. It's not like there's a ton going on. Huh. Also not clear if I have to kill them. In Atari version, I thought it was clear that you had to actually like kill all the guys. I don't even know why I died there. I'm gonna take a look at my time real quick. I've got about 7 minutes for I'm out of time. I'll go ahead and try again. Maybe skip ahead if it takes too long and nothing interesting happens. Yeah, and like I said, I can just wait till they all get up here and just throw them horizontally. But yeah, looking at the history of it, so we're talking like Montezuma's Revenge time. I don't know if that mouse cursor got captured or not. We're talking Montezuma's Revenge time, like... And so I'm like, okay, this platforming is actually kind of cool. You jump onto ropes. Got interesting physics with the ropes. The sound is terrible. The hitboxes are frustrating. I literally don't know what killed me last time I was playing. Even like these bats, it's like, I thought they actually couldn't hurt me for the longest time because they just didn't. But apparently if they get me right in the head, then they do hurt. The Atari version also kind of just leans into the absurdity of it all. So there's like a ghost. There's like a ghost that comes and steals the gems, and you go chasing, like the portal appears and you jump through the portal. And you chase back the, you get the gems back and put them back, and the ghost just takes them again right away. And each time that happens, Quasimodo says something different. Like at one point, it's like, he's like, ooh, Quasi ticked. Like, what? And I can appreciate just kind of leaning into the absurdity of the premise. Like, there's a ghost stealing gems, and Quasimodo has to retrieve them. Because apparently the soldiers think he's the one doing it. Okay. Alright. And I don't know how many lives I have. I think that's 4 lives. It's 3 complete flags. And then a flagpole by itself, and then a flag by itself. Yeah, we kind of lose the sense of humor in this version. Well, at least I didn't die, but... barely made that jump. Alright. Yeah, so again, I don't quite know what my hitbox is with these bats. It's not a good sign when your player is confused about hitboxes. Then again, time period. Okay, so Montezuma's Revenge had the platforming, the jumping, the climbing the ladders, whatever. I just wonder if there's a time limit, or if they really can shoot down, but I just never saw it. Also, why are there like priests with crossbows? Or again, they look like guns to me. And why are the graphics worse in the Commodore 64 version? Alright, so I'm actually curious. I'd like to know, do I have to kill these guys before I go? No, I don't even have to kill them. Okay, but I'm too slow to actually sneak by, so... Okay, this is definitely making me want to play the Atari version. But look how slow he moves. But it doesn't feel organic, it feels like it's slow down. It's very weird. Whoa, why am I on a window? I don't know what killed me again. Apparently I can't touch that guy. Okay, it's like a golden chalice cup thing. Yeah, so just sneak all the way through there. Alright. Oh, there's like 3 bats now. Oh, there's always 3 bats, but... And again, I can't tell how many lives I have, but I think it's 2. Alright. Should be able to make it. So the Atari version keeps looping. I'm assuming this one also keeps looping, but it's been doing things like... because the Atari one, each time you defeat it and it loops, it gets harder. This one's been getting harder each gem. So I'm curious if this one loops or if that's it, like the game's just over after you do this. Excuse me? Okay, I don't actually know what I'm supposed to do next. What? There's a gem there again. I don't. Okay, and then the bats are just giving me a bunch of cheap deaths, which is not fun. Okay, but I'm puzzled. Why is there a gem here now? Just notice the bell changes the tone depending on how far down you are. I don't know what significance that has. I don't understand that though. Now there's 4 bats. Yeah, this is different. I'm gonna have to play the Atari game so you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like it's getting harder without resetting the loop. So I don't know if there's... Yeah, like I'm being swarmed. Huh. Must be a limit to how many guys can be up here. Why are these two open again? Alright, so it's obviously looping, but why didn't it loop the first gem too? That's really weird. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it quits. It's kind of disappointing because in the Atari version, you at least get sort of like an acknowledgement of how far you've come before the gameplay loop happens. And then it becomes pretty clear why suddenly everything is harder, because, you know, you like beat the level and now you're on level 2, basically. I don't know, just too impatient. I don't want to do the wall climbing part again anyway. But I do find it... Okay, so you have to be lower down and get some more inertia. Okay, and then that bat killed me, good. I have an excuse to stop playing. Yeah, so I don't think that was a very good port, especially considering what the Commodore 64 was capable of. If you take a look at the Atari version, it's... So, and I think the Commodore 64 version is a slight upgraded graphics in some ways, but it downgraded in other ways. Like those priests look like they have rifles, which is weird. They're pretty clearly crossbows in the Atari version. And I'd say the Atari graphics are cuter. So I think I'm gonna have to play the Atari version now just so you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's it. Did my fan request. It's interesting. I almost thought it was the Hunchback game from Ocean, which I'll have to play sometime too, because I had that game when I was a kid and played it. But that's gonna be it for now. Kind of a weird, interesting game, but I'm guessing the Atari 8-bit version, original version, was the superior version. So we'll probably check that out next time.